Hi, everyone! Welcome to the Teen Yet Dragons YouTube channel, and of course, our weekly Teen Yet Lineage Taoism school session. This is your Okay, Fu and Gong right here. Welcome again, everyone. So today is the first episode of these kind of school sessions that will be made public. So I will be posting this on YouTube for everyone. So anyone who like this kind of topic can also enjoy this lecture. And of course, I'm going to talk in a way that is more newbie or outsider friendly so you can understand it without getting all brain fried. Now, before we begin the lecture, I'm going to introduce what this is going to be like so you guys can kind of prepare yourself. So we have this introduction, right? And then after that, we're going to get into the lecture part, which you will see right here in our amazing whiteboard, or you can say glass board, or whatever. We're going to have a lecture, and then at the end, we're going to answer some questions that we might have on our Skype right here. And actually, right now, at this moment, we're live on Skype with a bunch of our disciples here live listening to the lecture. So welcome and good morning, everyone. So let's begin our lecture. And before before I begin, I'm going to tell everyone on YouTube, okay, that if you are interested in learning this Samlo Gong, the Taoist magic that we're teaching, and the Samlo Taoism stuff, you can go to our website, which is located right here, okay, teenyetdragon.com. And there you will see a lot of good stuff. There's a blog. There's a whole bunch of full and surfaces, and also you can get initiated for free to become a disciple to get started. And then if you're really ready to commit, you can also ordain and get real. Okay, so anyway, I strongly recommend people get ordained and just skip the first process. You know why? Because it just, straight to the point, okay? Anyway, so let's begin our lecture today. So our lecture today is going to be talking about what is what? What is today's date? What is God? Okay, so we're going to talk about what is God, and also, of course, answer this question of Deity. Okay, and also you'll hear things about Immortal as well. Now, do you have an open mind? If you don't, you can now go on Amazon and buy one because you need that. Okay, so sun, scene. Now, anyone who don't have their mic or webcam muted, please do so to respect the show. Okay, what is God, Deities, Immortal, Sun, Scene? Okay, now if you don't know what is this, then you got a big problem because you don't know what is our Samlo Gong. San Gong is the cultivation of sun, which is God. Now, a lot of people who are digging into Chinese medicine will interpret or think that the sun is something else. Like, oh, you guys are religious. You think it's like God, like a person, with a white hair and all that robe and such, sitting up in the cloud, some supreme being, whatever. Okay, you might. Okay, someone got their webcam or mic. Anyway, so we got the what am I doing? Anyway, let's go. So we have a lot of Chinese medicine lovers will think, oh, you guys are religious. You think the sun is like people up in the cloud. We think sun is another thing. It's kind of like how your soul or mind or whatever. Okay, let me tell you what, okay? It's the same thing. It's just that you don't have someone to point you to the right path and realize, oh, it's actually the same thing. So let me explain to you from the beginning, and try to guide you to understand what is sun. It's actually the same thing, but you got to understand that this is like something that requires some brain juice. So let's go. First of all, introducing you the theory of Jing Hei Sun. And again, I am speaking Cantonese. Okay, so if you are not familiar with these words, because usually in the on the internet they use the Mandarin. Okay, but it's fine. Okay, it's the same word, Jing Hei and Sun. Okay, so here's the Chinese. Now, what are these? Okay, first, Jing, essence. So I'm going to translate all these annoying Chinese words into a language that you can understand. Essence, energy, and power. Okay. Essence, energy, power. Okay. What is that? Well, essence is basically the time. Okay, one of the essence is time. So, and also time here, okay, we have a symbol which is the heart. Why do we use the heart as a symbol? Because, first of all, you are alive, right? You are alive in this world. You have time right here. If your heart stopped beating, your heart stopped working, you're dead, and you don't have any more time here. It's just like we're living in an arcade machine where you need to insert a coin to continue playing the game, right? So if you have no more time, no more essence, okay, you are done. You are out of this world. It's like someone just pulled the plug off your back and you're, and you're done, okay? Now, once you have time, you have this essence going to your heart, you will be alive in this world. You are in the game. And because of that, the next thing after that, okay, your heartbeat, that sounds kind of weird, but, okay, there you go. Okay, so you have the heart beating, and then what? And then you have feeling, right? So the heart gave you some feeling. Okay, just moving it over. Feeling. Feeling will generate the energy, which is the thinking power. Okay? You can feel, right? And then now you can think. You can think, ponder information. And then that inside will make you want to move and do things. Right? And do. And or execute or act. Your body want to move. Oh, I feel what? I feel I want to pee. And you think about it. I really want to pee. And then, okay, let's go. You know. But the sun, right here, is not actually doing it. It's the thing that is before you do, there's a potential of you doing. That is the thing. That is the sun. The potential. Which is what? Which is when you believe, okay, when you believe something is going to happen, and you have hope, trust, faith, and such in that, that will create the sun, the power to do something. Now, that sounds kind of vague, right? No worry. Let's get into a real example right here, okay? Okay. So we got a little school bag right here. Bag. Okay. So we got a school bag right here. Okay. Now, there is a person. Okay. I want to gift this school bag to this person. Maybe let's say this is my son or something. Okay. I want to gift him a school bag. I believe and trust and want him to do better in school. I put my heart into the school bag. I put my heart into the school bag. The school bag hold the sun. The school bag hold the sun of me. And the sun is for helping my son do better in school. The sun is basically like saying it's a split or clone of your heart. And this heart is there to contain the power of a few things. Let's zoom in. We have belief. We have hope for something. We have trust. We have faith. And of course, sometimes you have love as well. Okay? These are the hearty words. Okay? You have these things in order for the heart to split a clone. Now, here inside the school bag, that's a little bit too big, but anyway. Okay, so inside the school bag, we have a clone of the initial heart. This is your heart energy that split a clone. Okay? Your clone split into it. So let's say this is heart number 1. Okay? Then this is heart number 2. It's 2 different hearts, but they are like the same thing. Okay? So you can imagine, like, you know, it's kind of hard to imagine for outsiders, but your heart here, okay, right here. Okay? There's an energy right here. This energy can be split and put into something. Okay? You won't be like, oh, I gave you my heart. I now, like, don't have a piece. It's not like a pizza. This kind of thing is a pre-heaven matter. So it doesn't decreases. It only increases. So you can split your heart to many, many things, and your own heart will not decrease. Okay? So basically now we have a split of our own heart. That is the sun inside. Okay? It holds the power, that pre-heaven power, that contains our belief, hope, trust, faith, and love for something to happen. That is the sun. And of course, in order to create the sun, we need to use time and energy. Right? That's the 2 things before it. So you got to have time and energy. So I use my time to buy the school bag. I always think about my son while I'm holding it or picking it, or while like I'm picking which school bag to buy. I am putting my time and energy because I'm thinking, I'm using my time. And by the time I hold that school bag, I say, okay, here you go, a gift. When my son takes it, he is holding on a piece of my heart. He is holding on to a sun inside, this bag with a sun. Now, you see, even you don't believe in Taoism, even you don't have any kind of religious background, you still can create a sun easily. You do not need to have a religion in order to create this God or sun. You see, it's not as like, it's not as religious as you think, because this is something naturally everyone can create. Everyone can create a sun. You can create a sun. It's not something hard to do. You need to put your time and energy into something. You put time into doing it, finding it, and then you put your energy into thinking about it. Then there's a sun. As long as you trust, believe, and have faith. Now you may think, oh, do I need to pray and spend a lot of time bowing to it? Okay, no. Think about another example, okay? Another example here. A door. Okay, so you have a door. Let me know, okay? Do you think we have a God here? A door God? Yes, of course you do. Okay, so how come you have a door God? Everyone does. Well, let me ask you. Right? You got a door. My question is, do you believe that your door is going to protect your house? Well, most of you are going to say, yeah, of course, I believe in the door is going to protect as long as I lock the door. Oh, so you believe and have trust and have faith in your door so much that you think once you lock it, no one's going to come in? And, well, think about it. You go on YouTube and do a search. It's so easy to pick a lock. And then I ask you again, now, do you still believe and have trust and faith that your door is going to protect you? If a burglar wants to break into your house, what makes you think that they won't know how to pick your lock? Now, let's say they don't know how to pick your lock. What makes you think that they will not just kick open your door? Oh, because my door is very secure. You cannot just kick and break it. Oh, what if they use a ram and ram open your door? Or they saw open your door? Or they don't go through the door, they go through like the window or something, huh? What makes you so trust and believe that your door is going to protect you? Well, let me tell you, because naturally we put a God inside. You put a piece of your heart into everything you have. You love it without knowing that you actually love. Because when we say love, it's kind of like, oh, like kiss, and like, oh, me and you, and love, It's not always like that kind of love. We love internet. We don't have to kiss the internet, right? We love power, like electricity. If you don't have power for a bit, you're going to panic. We love water. If you don't have water for a while, okay, like no water that day, think about what's going to happen to you, right? So we love air, we love the world, we love everything. Because we want it, we need it. We cannot get out of it, right? Our heart is so bonded to it. We love the door. If there's no door in the house, you will feel not safe. It's a feeling. The door gave you the feeling, huh? You see? Feeling. It's not an actual thing like, oh, someone's going to break in right now and your door is like, I'm going to defend, It's not like that. It's a feeling that it gave you. A peace of mind, right? So now you know, huh? It's not that hard to say I'm putting my heart into things and I'm making a God out of everything. Yeah, it's easier than you think. The sun, God, okay, that word for the God, okay? It can be created by anyone, especially babies. They have those stuffed animals, those toys. They believe this stuffed animal is going to help them or protect them during their sleep or something like that. Well, once you put your heart and trust and faith in it and you truly believe so, there isn't a need for an explanation. It automatically, you already put your time and your thinking and your energy into it. And a son is born. So, you see these babies? When you take away their little stuffies, they will cry. They will feel not right? They will feel very horrible because you took away their God. They need it around. They love it so much. They're so bonded to it. It's the heart inside. So now we know that a God is not like, like a person kind of thing, right? But here is something funny, huh? God create human. Huh. But human also create God. What does that mean? Okay. Let me explain how human create God. Okay? So human create God just like what we say. We put our time and energy into something and we split a clone of our heart power into something, and then a God, a son, is created. Now, how does God create human? Well, because these gods inside things that we actually interact with, they stay inside, right? That heart power, heart, is what gives us the feeling. Feeling will promote you to think in a certain way. So if your door, okay, let's say the door god, again, a famous door god. Okay, so if you have a door god right here, and you stand right here, okay, you're going outside. Okay, so let's say your door god is right there. You can't see it because God, like your heart, is not visible. It's not a physical object, but it's inside the object, right? So you look at the door, and the door god inside, that heart power. The heart power is like a light bulb. It shines at you. When it shines at you, it gives you a feeling. Have you ever tried while you're walking out the door and you're like, oh, that oh moment. And when you go, you're like, I want to go washroom. Or, I forgot my key. You know, your door god is communicating with you like this. It communicates with you by giving you a feeling, a spark moment of feeling, influencing the way you see things. God gives people vision. Okay? Eyes. Okay. So, God gives people vision. Vision not as in like, oh, I can look very far away. Not like that. It's the vision like, oh, I can see my future kind of vision. Okay? So, if you are at the door and, well, let's say your future, if you go out right now, you're going to get in a car accident, your door god can give you a warning and it makes you have the vision of something else. Like, oh, I need to go washroom. And then because you go to the washroom, you miss that 5 minutes. And then you're like late 5 minutes and you just are lucky enough to avoid an accident. If you are not late, you might bang into another car already. Or like long time ago, there's this 911 incident. There are people who are like, oh, they wake up that day and suddenly they don't feel like going out, or they just drag a bit and they didn't go and they didn't die. Some people went and they died. You could be the lucky one because the God inside your house is actually telling you, don't go, don't go, don't go. You see that God tells you things by giving you a feeling. And of course, you have the right to ignore that, right? You can be using your logic, what we call the post-heaven, to ignore it. And you can say to yourself, like the God say, don't go, danger, right? Inside yourself, you can argue. No, I need to go. I'm late. And then you use your logic to bypass this sense of the pre-heaven energy because you're using your brain, using your soul to think. When you use that, then the pre-heaven senses will shut off. Once you shut off that, then you ignore the God's words, then you will bang into that kind of situation where you go to work and you died. Too bad. You didn't listen to God. In order to listen to these gods, you need to ignore your post-heaven senses, which is your logic, your brain power. Don't think. Just believe. Now, is it always going to be good? No, okay? I will explain more about it later on. But now, at least you know how God talks to people. They talk to people all the time. It gives you a spark moment and a feeling, and that's it. If you are the type who pay attention to these things, well, now your choice. Are you going to listen to it, or are you going to use your logic to process it? That's up to you. But now you know, okay? That is how God create human. Human is a metaphor. It means the reality. Okay? Like God influenced people by giving them a different feeling, a different vision. And because you have a different vision of someone or something, you will do something different in the next moment. Let's say you have a person coming to your door. Your door guard senses that this is the bad guy. The door guard affects your vision. Now, you open the door and you look at the guy, and you're instantly on guard, and you're like, oh, this guy must be a bad guy. Well, if you don't have the door guard helping you, you might be like, open the door and you got tricked, and you think this is a good guy. The door guard can help you filter out people because of that spark moment, that like instant kind of like intuition kind of feeling. And it teaches you things that you may not know. That's how God created human, meaning that God create our future. Not exactly like human being. It's God creating our future. So human can create God. God creates human. That's how it works. Okay? Now, we know how the God works now. Okay? It's time to understand that God also have a plus or minus. There are two types. God can be good or bad for you because it depends on you. Okay? If your intention of spending that heart or time and energy into something, yeah, you have the trust and hope and faith, but for what? If it's for that subject to be positive, meaning that you want to help them to like get better, you want them to improve, that kind of thing. Your God is going to be a positive kind of God, 養神. Okay? If the God that you make is negative, meaning that you put the time and energy into like thinking about, cursing people, and you hate, and, all the negative stuff, okay, that's your 陰神. Well, negative sounds pretty bad, but sometimes it could be bad for others that you want to, you want them to have a negative outcome. It doesn't always mean negative to you, but then it's negative, okay? Now, these two kind of God, they're both gods. It all depends on what you're outputting with your heart. Just saying, like, is your heart black or red, Are you a lover or hater? Now, some people, they like to abuse and kick their door and always like rant and do negative stuff to their door and house and things like that. You will eventually convert that God inside into a 陰神, negative God. And that God is going to like harm you instead of help you because it's negative, right? So you got to be careful. Putting some love in everything isn't good. Isn't a bad idea. Okay? Now, I'm going to get into that later. But here, let us get into another thing. Back to the school bag. Okay? The school bag. So we have a God right here. A school bag. Okay? Ding, 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 ding. Like that. Now, the school bag is supposed to help this person who wears the school, who bring the school bag to school, right? While the school bag can see you, meaning that you're in the like locally around that school bag, where you can see the school bag and the school bag can see you, the God's power can affect you. It can give you the vision and feeling and things like that. No problem. But how can it help you when it's actually like away from you, or are you like kind of away from it? Well, you see, this is a school bag, right? You can be touching it, you can be putting things inside, and so on. Now, these, the God itself inside can also split a clone of itself into other things. When you also have different requests. So if you acknowledge your school bag, like kids like to talk to things. They wear the school bag and then they can talk to the bag, I'm going to have a test. Help me, help me, like that. And then you take a pen and you're like, okay, I need to get an A, and then you start writing, right? When you do that kind of thing, I'm not sure if you are the type that like to talk to things, but if you do, you already know how to talk to God. When you talk to God, the God is going to help you. It's going to give you a split for one, like a little clone for each of the thing that you need help with. This split thing, this clone, is not a God anymore. It's like the God, it's like a son of the God. Okay, so let's say this thing right here. Okay, this is the God. Then this is the son of God, meaning that it gives birth to the God. Okay, son of God. These we call them the seen, which is immortal. Now, why is it called immortal? Basically, you can think about it this way. This is like the little particles. Okay, they're like particles. The God is like a ball of light. These are like light particles. Okay, these seen, they go into you, blend with your soul. So it goes inside you and blend with your soul energy around you. While it does so, it empowers and help you think and also affect the way you act. So let's say you're going to take a pen and you're going to write. While the scene, the immortal, is inside you, it will kind of, oops, how come I want to like do a scribble on A, but somehow I scribble on B and I got a nicer mark? I don't know why. Well, because the immortal is helping. And also the immortal helps you think and process. God helps you feel. The immortal helps you think. Okay. Now, why are they called immortal though? Well, if you take the English word immortal, it means that they never dies, right? Yes, it doesn't die. Because just like your soul, it doesn't die. What happened is these things go into one thing that it needs to help you with. For example, you have an accident. Okay. Accident. Okay. Well, the something is coming at you, going to bang into you. One of these immortal is going to like kaboom right there. While it kaboom right there, you might just like have a imagine two car collision, right? And then the immortal comes out and help you. You would just kind of steer the wheel a bit, and you kind of didn't go into like a super big collision, but you actually just scratch your car, something like that. Now, after that immortal have done this job, it dies. What do I mean by die? It doesn't really die. It basically cycle into like from this big ball of light, it goes back into a lot of little particles, and it goes back to where it comes from, back to the God. So you can say like they die and go back to where God is. Okay, so it regroup with its original source. And then next time you ask for help again, these particles are going to be used for the next job. The more immortal they are, like the more little of these clone they are, and the more they do their job and die and go back and cycle, they're gaining, every time they do these things and help you, they gain the experience, they gain the trust, they gain a lot of things. They gain power. And when they go back to God, and it's kind of like you level up your God. So the more the immortals are used, the stronger your God is. So it's kind of like saying, the more you ask God for help, the more God help you, the stronger the God gets. And you will believe the God more as well, because you see how the thing is always helping you. Right? So immortal, the Chinese word, it consists of two parts. Human and mountain. What does it mean? Well, you're using time, like human right here, this part. Okay, you're using the time to put into things and accumulate. So that means when you are like putting your time and energy into things, and accumulate that power, it's going to become the immortal. In short, you're putting the God's power, okay, into things. And while it's doing it, that's the immortal. A little clone of the God itself coming out. Okay? So, you see, we have God and immortal. Deities and God, what's the difference? Well, deities, it's basically the post-heaven God. So, it's like this one, with the school bag, right? Now, these are human created. Like, we can create deities. Okay? We can create deities. Gods are actually like the God as in sun. Okay? This is the pre-heaven. Pre-heaven and post-heaven. That's the difference. Okay? Pre-heaven gods are like something that is in a deep nature. Okay? You have a heart. You can use the heart to split a clone. But that heart is actually considered a post-heaven. Okay? Because you wake up and you have that heart. Pre-heaven is before you are actually even born. These gods are from your Yun Sun, your spiritual planetary body. You have a bunch of these gods in your own Yun Sun, spiritual planetary body. It's kind of like your own planet, but you regroup of it every day and while you sleep. Okay, but these are the pre-heaven gods. They go down to your heart and become the deities, and then you can split the deities into other immortals. We do that all the time. Yeah, we do that all the time. You see, it's like you have a door, right? Before you go out the door to interview, okay, you have a door. Open the door, and you're like, today I need to go to interview. I got to make it happen. You know, I need success. And then you touch the door, you think about it, open the door. Let's go. When you go, okay, the God power goes through the contact and into you and possess into you. Those power is the immortal. It's the seen, that power. And then while that power is inside you, now you have the God power with you. And when you go out and interview, that power is going to help you. And it's going to make it possible, make it successful like that. So, okay, now we know about these gods and deities and immortal. What about the religion ones, okay? Well, religious gods and things you basically see, okay, like there's a statue, and then, statue, okay? And you think, oh, we are praying to God, we're praying to a statue, right? Not really. It's not the statue itself that is the God. The statue is a statue. So, what's the God about? Well, let's say you are a chef, okay? You hope and you want that your cooking is going to be good. You want to be safe in the kitchen. You want people to love your cooking and so on and so on. All these hope of whatever that is related to your cooking or chef career. All these hope, okay? You need a place to contain it. Then you take a statue of like something that relates to cooking, which you kind of can relate, okay? So let's say you bought a statue, and this is like a famous chef, and you kind of, okay, now this is my God, okay? You kind of believe this is your God. I want to be like him, like that. You have hope, have trust, have faith, and believe, and so on. So you put your heart into this thing. And then every day you go to it and you kind of talk to it like how kids talk to their dolls and robots, they talk to the things, right? Every day you go there and talk to it, and you put your hope into it. Like you have to put your time. You can't just go there like 2 minutes a day, okay? You have to put more time. sit there in front of the statue, thinking about what you want, thinking about what are the things that you might want from the God. While you think and put time in front of the statue, this statue is going to contain your heart. While it contains your heart, you are actually already cultivating your God inside here. Right? The statue is a body for the God only. You created the God. Now, next time you got some like hiccups or something at work, you need help. You go back to the God and you talk to the God and you ask for help. Now, maybe you'll be like, oh, somehow I feel like giving my God some food or something. Well, you put the food up there, you talk to the God, your God is going to split the scene, the immortal, into other things around it, such as the food or the water or whatever, and the scene is there. Now you can drink it, eat it, and consume the God's power into yourself. Now you consume that power, then the help is going to be there when you do things at work, because those power goes into you and combine and blend with your soul. When it blends with your soul, it affects your thinking and action. So let's say you're going to be doing something dangerous today, okay? You're going to do something like cutting meat or something. That power inside you will affect the way you want to move your hand, the way you want to pick a knife, and then there it goes, more safety. You see, it's just like that. Cultivating your own God, that is San Gong. You need to have some kind of hope, like what you want from the God. You need to have trust, have faith into it. And you might be like, oh, but it's just a doll, it's fake. Yeah, I know it's a doll, but it's not just a doll when you put your heart into it, right? Your heart is not fake. Your feeling is not fake, right? That is one of the pre-heaven power that you are born with. And you have the right to split this into other things, to put it there and make your own God. You don't want to call it the God, you can call it something else. If you don't feel like, so religiously bonded to that word. But basically that's what you're doing. And human beings have been doing it since ages ago when there are tribes and stuff. It's an automatic thing that we do. Now you might think, no. It's like 2020 now. We're into the tech world. Why the hell do we still pray to statue? We talk to computers. We have tablets. We have phone. We don't work with statue. Statues are useless. No. You know what? Look at Statue of Liberty. Anyway, I'm just joking about that. Oh, look. God doesn't need to be in a human statue. God can be in your tablet. I talked about it already. Right? You can have God inside a school bag, a door, a rock. It can be anything. But then the thing, the object itself, the body, needs to fit the hope, right? So if you use a rock to represent, like, let's say, a God that can help you with your school, well, the rock is not really resembling that vibe, right? If you use a tablet, then the God goes in the tablet, and you're using a tablet to do like homework or studying. Now that makes sense, right? That is like something that can relate. Using the human form statue, there's a deeper meaning behind. But that's one form of how God can be like. But God is not limited to just this kind of form. You can have a God in like a monster-looking statue. Like a Warcraft, that kind of like orc kind of monster. You can have that too, why not? Is it evil? No, it's not evil. My monster God is supposed to help me to defeat my enemy. That's why it needs to look so badass. It's not going to chew me up, right? People have dogs, right? Dogs have scary teeth. But then it doesn't mean that the dog is going to bite you. The dog is going to use the teeth to like protect your house or something like that, but not to bite the owner, right? So it's like saying a gun. You know, people are like so, oh, guns are evil. No, guns are not evil. You can use gun to save people. You can use gun to kill people for saving them. You don't need to use it to do bad things, right? The form, the outlook doesn't really matter that much. Because, like, even this thing looks so demonic. It looks like rah. It doesn't mean that it's going to do that to you. You can use that to scare away your enemy, right? So the form is not everything. It doesn't always have to look like a smiling old man. Okay, now you know what is God, what is Deity, what is Immortal, and what is San Gong, the cultivation of God. Now, of course, if you only understand up to here, you'll think, oh, then why do I need to join your lineage? I can just start like making God myself. Yeah, you can. Okay? The difference is you are like the amateur. You're like trying to bang into things yourself. And you don't have specific, like a pro level kind of knowledge behind to explain all the other special details. The professionals are like the engineer. You know, they have been through so many things. They figure out their whole, the whole system, how it works and all that. We are like the engineer of God, engineer of nature. We understand how it works. We have a system and we have our own language, how we program the God. We can be ensured that this is how I can cultivate a God. This is how I can control it. This is how I can ask the God for help, how I can withdraw the power, and most importantly, how to not be hacked. Everyone knows how to make money in this world. Easy. Get a job. Open a business. Okay? You can make money. How many of you can keep your money safe? Oh, that's kind of hard to imagine. I put it in a bank. Right. Why don't you just put it in your pocket, huh? You need a bank, right? The professionals who can protect your money. Okay, everyone knows you can have a computer and you can go on the internet. Simple. How many of you can protect your internet from being hacked? Protect yourself from hackers. In the spiritual world, there are spiritual beings out there going around looting these gods that are weak, unprotected. Like you don't even know there's a God. And then you start, worshiping, believing, talking to it. Well, these spiritual hackers love it. They'll be like, oh, great, there's a God there, like a body. I'm going to take over. And then they take over that and they will say, now I am your God. You can keep on giving me that soul energy every day. We're going to get that. And there you go. Free lunch. And then eventually one day you decided not to talk to the God or something. Well, the other side is like, no. You're not going to get out of this. They're going to do bad stuff to you. And make sure you see all the bad luck coming to make sure you feel that you have made a wrong choice to quit. A lot of my previous clients have these issues. They brew up an altar themselves. They don't know anything. They start praying to the statue and think that that's God. And then one day they decided to not do it. Then all the bad lucks come to them. It's like so freaky scary. One of them even jumped off the building and died. It's scary. Because you don't know what's actually going on. You cannot see it. You don't have that special ability to see in the other dimensions. And because of that, well, you will have danger. So, by learning the San Gong, learning it from us, the professionals, you are being guaranteed that you are going to be safe doing these things. And of course, there are also a lot of pre-cultivated gods or pre-cultivated like accounts, you can say, that are going to be more powerful than just yourself trying to brew up your own god. Yourself is so limited. You cannot just use yourself and trust yourself, right? Ah, look, I'm back again. So you need the professionals there to guide you. And also, you need to know that the pro level have pro level gods. Your god is just a newbie god. When the pro guys are going to attack you, such as a sorcerer, let's say those magic guys from Thailand, someone hired these people and do some gong tao magic on you. They're not going to use your like little kids kind of level god. They're going to use some professional gods that are cultivated for generations. And they're going to attack you and smash you like you're nothing. By then, your normal level, your immature level, like small little potatoes, you cannot defeat these things. You're going to be rammed over. Right? So, yeah, creating a god is easy. Cultivating it, making it strong, and being able to protect it, and so on, it's hard. And there are other higher levels, more powerful, more pre-heaven God than you think. And in order to learn all that, you need to be in our lineage to stay for a while to learn more about it. So this will be the lesson today. Let's move on to the questions. So we can answer some questions if we have any right now.
Okay, the first one is from Tim Kim, the English one. He says, what is the difference between gods and deities?
Okay, so we just answered that. Okay, move on.
Okay, so the second one is from Tincho. He says, could you explain the deep concept of soul travel and its magic involved? So do we travel by neutral soul?
Okay, soul traveling. Okay, what we do in the lineage, soul traveling, it basically, first thing, you do not go unconscious and blank out. Okay, you do need to close your eyes, and you need to do some magic inside, and then you can basically travel inside to another place. But you're not going to travel to another place as in like a physical place. Like I'm not going to be able to travel and then physically tell you, oh, you got a box of pen around you. You're now dressed in like blue shirt and jeans. It's not possible. The soul travel in what we call the D6, dimension 6, right? So you're going to go into the dimension 6 of other things. You can travel to, let's say, other spiritual beings, places, like track down the evil god or the ghost or something like that. You can see that. But you cannot travel to another, like a physical place. Yet, if I'm going to travel to your house to help your house do some kind of magic, I will be seeing the spiritual body of your house, the D6 side of your house. Now, that is another topic in the monthly classes about the feng shui. Okay, but then yeah, you do have to travel with your soul. Do you travel with a neutral soul? Basically, yeah, you travel with all of your soul, not just one. It's the whole thing going. You cannot just split it. Okay, so it's the whole soul body traveling around. Okay. And you won't be like unconscious. You're still knowing what you're doing. In order to do soul traveling in the lineage using the magic, you need an altar, a strong altar, and you need to be committed to a certain level where I think, okay, you're ready. Then I will help you to get you there. And I will pass on the power to you. Then you'll be able to go and see these things. Usually, soul traveling is used for doing magic battles or helping people to do things like the spiritual cases. Or sometimes we do soul travel to other worlds as well to investigate. Okay, next question.
好，天心嘅問題。瞓醒嘅時候，假性鬼壓床係因為陰魂喺度，但係陽魂未翻。咁入睡之前嘅假性鬼壓床係因為陽魂去咗通靈，但係陰魂仲喺度嗎？咁有冇反過嚟嘅情況係陽魂喺度，但係陰魂唔喺度嘅呢？
OK， 鬼壓床呢 OK 就係你成個人嘅靈魂呢，未同個人去合為一體，即係未歸位。陰魂呢就係你嘅思想嘅力量，陽魂呢就推動你嘅身體去喐動嘅。 咁如果你被鬼壓床嘅時候，你可以思想嘅話，即係話你陰魂已經到咗啦，你陽魂未到，咁你就唔可以喐動。所以咧，你睇下自己嘅情況啊。如果你係仍然即係個身體可以掙扎，但係咁你嘅思想好模糊，好似諗唔到嘢咁樣咧。即係如果你喺外邊睇咧，佢哋係咁喐，但係咁你其實自己都唔知自己做緊咩嘅咁樣。咁啊調翻轉啦，即係你陽魂到陰魂唔知去邊啊，喺第二度。咁啊兩個情況都可以發生嘅，基本上都係一個靈魂同個肉身係對唔正嚇。咁啊最容易嘅方法都係嗰句，就係諗翻你自己，叫你自己個名，做一啲咧可以同你個心可以接駁翻，咁你自然個靈魂咧就歸位。Okay, next question.
Okay, next one from Tin Ha. She says, can a god or deity be punished or prevented from helping humans?
Yes, of course. That is why you have the 神功, because you always have a more powerful god or a powerful deity to override whatever you created later on. Right? So you need to know that, yeah, there are like other gods and deities that you can create, but you also need to have a stronger power that can override stuff if anything goes wrong. So there are always ways to override and also like deal with these deities that have went wrong. Our jobs as the 神功 professional, when we see people like in their house, let's say they have a lot of gods in their house, the window, the door, and all that, even the kitchenware, everything have a god inside, right? So yeah, if they keep on having so many bad luck, that means the gods must have went weird. And our job is to go in and fix that issue. We can fix it. Also, we have to teach these people how to deal with their gods later on as well. Right? So let's say your kitchen and your sofa and everything had the god inside and they went bad. Well, we need to also teach them, hey, you know what? You need to stop like treating your kitchenware and your sofa like they're shit. You need to start treating them nicely and stop your negative action, because you are actually the one creating these negative gods around. So you are actually creating the virus yourself, and now you're eating your own medicine. So we need to teach them to cultivate their virtues so that they're not going to create more troubles. At the same time, we're going to use our God to override and overpower everyone there and convert them and neutralize them. Usually, in the past when I was working locally, when people have these kind of issues, like all the gods at their location is screwed up, well, you cannot just like go one by one and then fix it one by one. So usually we will have one clone of our god from our altar, like split a clone into something like a statue that they like or something like that, and we will like open an altar right there for them. From then on, this main god of the house on the altar is like the boss, and this boss is not controlled by this guy. This God is controlled by us on our altar. And because we know how to monitor and how to deal with these things, it's not going to go wrong. So we can have that representative of our God right there inside their house. And this God is going to be there to make sure that nothing goes wrong and all the gods are behaving right. And so from then on, every day, this family only need to like go and do things at that altar and make sure they are positive and such, then the problem is solved. Okay, so usually that's why we tell people to open an altar and start worshiping something at home, because you need that big boss to control and govern the whole house of God right there. Okay, the next one, next question.
天澤嘅問題，祖師同埋祖師爺嘅名係有分別嘅，咁樣係咪祖師爺係代表教派入邊嘅9大祖師同埋先師呢？
OK， 祖師同埋祖師爺最大嘅分別就係祖師咧就係喺你嗰個本地個壇嗰度嘅，本地嘅 OK 喺個壇度嘅。祖師爺咧就係你請個神仙到嘅 OK。咁啊，祖師爺基本上係一個統稱。咁啊，主要嚟講一切你要請神仙到嗰啲神明咧都可以叫做祖師爺。但係咁咧，爺呢個字咧就係好似啲阿爺咁啊嘛，佢係比較係一個文教嘅。咩意思咧？即係佢係屬於呢個，譬如話你係仍然喺我哋個教派入邊嘅三羅教啊、天一教啊嗰啲水平咧，即係身為一個好似普通市民咁樣咧，呢一個就係保佑你同埋幫你嘅呢個神明啦，就係叫祖師爺，就係文教嘅。OK，當你上咗去神龍教以上咧，我哋就進入呢個官教階段啦。官教階段咧就唔係叫祖師爺啦。咁喺上面咧就即係天庭入邊嘅神明啦，所謂就有佢哋自己即係一套嘅呢個稱呼系統，咁又唔係叫祖師爺。咁呢個遲啲再講啦。咁基本上咧就係即係文教即係同埋官教嘅分別。不過如果你咁睇，即係本地叫祖師，要請神仙到叫祖師爺，咁都 OK 噶啦，都可以咁睇嘅Okay, we can take one more question. This is the last one for today.
Okay, last one from Ting Kim. He says, could you tell us more about the meaning of the gods' depictions? For example, why is the Jade Emperor depicted as an ancient king? Is there a meaning related to his properties?
Yes, there is. But it's a long story to tell. I can't do it in 1 minute. Basically, you can see it this way. Like in history, people already picked a certain look for a certain kind of god, and it was used for many years already. So yes, in theory, you can change it to other kind of look. Okay, let's say like you want to use Gordon Ramsay's statue, as a kitchen god. Well, you can do that. You can make one like that, if you like that. But then, in the ancient times, since ages ago, people already have like a kitchen god kind of statue, and they have been using it for hundreds of years. So, in my position, okay, yes, the Gordon Ramsay statue will work. Okay, there's no problem with it. But just that if I use that in like marketing or promotion wise, people are going to look at me like I'm crazy, right? But if I use the more old-fashioned kind of look, people are very used to it and will think that you're more authentic and they can accept it. Okay, so yeah, it's like I can do magic without all the traditional looking style stuff. But then, can people accept it or not? Well, it's proven that people cannot accept new things easily. So the best way to go is to use the more traditional ones for the majority of the people to accept. And of course, if you are inside the lineage, like in the inner circle, you will know that we actually have a lot of things that are not very traditional looking, but they do work. Because you understand what it is, then you can make it work. Why not? Even like you can use the Batman, Iron Man, or Power Rangers or whatever as a god statue. It will still work. You can make your own god, like anything. It works. Okay? But can people accept it? That's another story. Yet, there are many, many people out there also doing San Gong, and they also create a lot of God that is like, maybe it's not even real or not even there. They take like, a novel and start using the character inside the novel. Like the Monkey King, like the pig and stuff from Journey to the West. And they use like the character from Feng Shan Bong as well. Like Na Zha and so on. These are novel characters. But they use it as a god and it works. Okay? So, there we go. Okay, so that's it for today. And thanks for joining. and also all the disciples for your questions. And for our people on the YouTube channel, remember to go to our website, tnetdragon.com. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. And also stay tuned for our next week school session, because this is going to be every Sunday. So, yeah, if you want to join the live, come in, go to this website, get initiated, and join our line, and we'll welcome you into our Skype. And if we still have a space, you can also join the live session and also provide questions and so on, and we can answer your question as well. So that's it for today. Bye-bye. Let me exit the screen in a magical way. Bye-bye. Magical. Okay, bye-bye.